Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Canadian Love Map podcast. We're heading into season 10.
Woohoo!
Watch out.
So exciting. Double digits.
Yes, and you know what? We are kicking things off with just the most fun, hilarious, inspiring, sweetest, like old-fashioned love story with an epic twist of the best proposal ever.
We love it.
How did you find these people?
We had them on. So Jess and Waldo came on last season and shared their epic, heroic, amazing story. And then Jess reached out to me again and was like, wait, I have an epic, amazing love story that you are so going to want to hear about. And here we are.
Yeah, thanks, Maddie, because this is such a fun conversation. And let's just hop right into it because I think it's going to leave everybody listening going, what? Really?
Right?
As it goes deeper and deeper into the story. Hold on to your hats.
Here we go.
Hi, Jess and Brady. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Doing good. Thanks for having us back, Nancy.
I'm so happy to have you here, but you know I have to start with a very obvious, very corny question. Where's Waldo?
Everybody asks that question. Yeah, he's right here. He's
Oh,
being-
of course he
Waldo,
is.
Come up, say hello. Come here.
Come here.
Hi, Waldo.
Waldo's doing great. He's I'm back to walking again, so we've been on very many adventures together.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it.
hello.
He seems to. Hello, Waldo. Woof. Waldo's popularity seems to continue to blossom. Maybe explode is a better word.
Yeah. He's ever since the story broke of him rescuing me, his following on TikTok kind of exploded. He's got 15.3 thousand followers now. And every Wednesday we do Waldo Wednesday, which is a live in the evening with his fans. And there's like 20 to 30,000 people who will see it at any given night that we do it.
That is amazing. When you had the idea and you tried it the first time, were you blown away by the response?
Yeah, honestly, I have always kind of thought Waldo Wednesdays would be a cute idea, but when I was stuck in bed and not able to do much with Waldo, I was like, this is a good opportunity to still spend some quality time with him. And like, if no one shows up, whatever, let's give it a try. The first time we got quite like a couple thousand through, and people started, engaging in the comments, asking questions about Waldo. These lives can be pretty silly, so we'll do costumes and tricks, and we've got regulars now that show up every week. Some that were there at the very first Waldo Wednesday, and they call themselves Waldo Warriors.
I absolutely love it. Brady, what do you think about this whole situation? Like, could you ever have foreseen it?
Honestly, I think that something like this was always kind of the idea after we got him, And what happened with Jess is just a great example of the kind of dog that Waldo's always been. Waldo has this amazing ability to make people happy. I call him the little joy factory. All he likes to do is just make friends and make people happy. So we try to give him as many opportunities to do that. And now that he has a platform to do that on, we get people coming in by the thousands, and some of them might be having a rough day or they're feeling bad, and they've told us that they tune in and they get to see Waldo do some tricks and give some smiles, and they feel better, and that's what he's all about.
And his fans are really intense about their love for him. Like we've gotten it all. Like some people are like, I would break the law for Waldo. I would kill for Waldo. I would die for Waldo. Like they just are so obsessed, and we love them. Like it's kind of become a family thing, because even our cat Jack is always just off to the side and usually stealing treats off camera, and we highlight that because we're like, oh, the cat's at it again. And, Brady's in there doing tricks with Waldo, so I can man the camera and answer questions. And it's really become like a whole family affair. But, Brady was mentioning that we've always kind of thought Waldo had the capacity to be viral or, you know, spread joy and connect with people on a global level. And we've always like thought, wouldn't that be amazing? And the fact that I broke my leg, we were joking that the universe like pushed us into it. I'm like, oh, all it took was breaking my leg. Come on.
Exactly.
Earlier.
It's not so bad in retrospect, right?
Yeah.
I really love what Brady said, though, and what you are reiterating is that it's the simplicity of it, and it's like he's just a little ray of sunshine in a dark period for people, and the more stressful the world becomes, the more Waldo's particular kind of medicine is going to be valuable.
Yeah.
So I just think you're doing the right thing. You're just putting the love out there.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's important to put the love out there, and like I said, we like to give him as many opportunities as we can. We've taken him to retirement homes so that the nice people there can pet him and give him treats and stuff. We even took him to which university was it? Was it Wilfrid Laurier?
Yeah.
Laurier University around exam time, because we know that can be really stressful for people there. So we took him to the campus and let people meet him, and he just brightens up people's days. And we're just so proud of him for being able to do that. We see him having a positive effect on people wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Well, and he's going to have the ability to do that this fall with a brand new book.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah, Waldo the Wonder Dog. So while I had nothing to do, I figured let's make a story about this amazing dog that we have. 10% of the proceeds do go to the Humane Society of Canada to spread more love and give back to the animals who are less fortunate than Waldo. And it's a children's book. It's interactive. There's going to be links to videos so people can see the real Waldo in action too.
Okay, that is just it's that intersection of a brilliant idea and also something that's going to help someone else. So it's a great venture for you and Waldo, but also it's really going to help a lot of people, I'm sure, and inspire them and brighten their day.
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal at the end of the day, is spreading love. And Waldo just has such a capacity for spreading joy. And even at the end of every Waldo Wednesday, we say to everyone, we know the world's a little scary right now. It's not always easy, but no matter what, you can always come here and hang out with Waldo on Waldo Wednesdays. And remember, Waldo loves you. And then we get him to kiss the camera.
Yes, Waldo loves love.
Yes, he does. We even have a theme song.
Yeah, there's a theme song.
So you have to clean the lens afterwards, but he kisses the camera. You guys know all about love and joy. And this time on the podcast, I actually want to talk to you about your own love story, which is why Waldo is being just shifted to the side now for a second.
Doesn't happen often.
I know, exactly. So you two are center stage today, and I'd love you to tell me how you first met.
I mean, do you want to? I guess I'll start. So, Jess and I are both from London, Ontario, and we ended up going to the same high school together. We went to Wilfrid Laurier High School. I got sent there because my parents put me into French immersion, and then I think you ended up going there just because
I lived close.
Because you lived close to it.
High school.
Yeah, and that's where we met in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
2005.
Mm-hmm.
And we became great friends immediately, and we've spent the past 20 years together, essentially.
And when did you shift from that friend zone into the relationship zone? When did that start and how?
Well, I actually met Brady in the hallway because I was dared by my friends to ask random people to give me a hug. And Brady was the only
school?
one. Yeah. Brady was the
funny.
only one that did that. He was the only one that accepted my hug, and he was cute and clearly like a lot of fun. And he gave me that hug, and I was like, I have a crush on this guy. And a few weeks later, we were going to see The Sound of Music as like a field trip. And I saw him and I was like, oh, that's the guy who hugged me. And he had no one sitting beside him. So I walked over and I sat beside him on the bus, and we talked, and then from there on, we've just been kind of inseparable.
So it wasn't really a hug and run.
I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't. From my perspective, you're young man in high school and a cute girl asks you for a hug, I can't believe I was the only one who hugged you that day.
Yeah, they looked at me like I was a weirdo.
She asked you for a hug, you hug her at it.
Yeah, but that says something about you too, Brady, because, I think so many kids in high school, they're so uber focused on judgment and not doing anything that looks, uncool or whatever. And something that unpredictable might seem like, oh no, that's out of the groove. I can't do that. Well, I'm glad you were the only one because, look how it worked out.
Yeah. Jess and I are both really big huggers, and we shared a lot of common right from the get go. We were both music and drama geeks in high school, and we really bonded over that. That's why
Was it like a Glee club kind of thing? The show Glee, was your relationship like a chapter out of that show?
Sort of. Jess had always been in musical theater, like for youth, like for years growing up, and then when I got to high school, I did band and orchestra and choir, all the musical ensembles and things like that. And Jess kept up with the singing from the musical theater, so she was in choir with me and chamber choir, and eventually she ended up joining the band. Because my music teacher needed an extra percussionist, and they saw that we were together, and she knew that Jess could read music, so she recruited Jess to. What did you play? The triangle, the triangle, and the bass drum.
It's a really glamorous, like
you were just
ding.
Yeah,
it's all about the attitude with which you do it. I think with the triangle,
with enthusiasm.
Yeah. Funny. And so what was it that you really loved about each other when it got to that sort of love stage?
Well, I feel like, we were maybe friends for a few weeks before we decided to give it a go. And there was a Halloween party that we decided to go as dates. And, we both really love Halloween. We're big fans of creepy horror movies, but then also costumes. So we decided to go together. And I feel like we said we loved each other really early on. Like a lot of people we knew were like, yeah, you're just high school sweethearts, whatever. But our relationship's always been really strong.
It honestly, it really developed really easily because, like I said, Jess and I have an odd amount of things in common, like more than you would expect in a couple. Like I said, we were both into music and theater. We both have the same type of morals and beliefs and hobbies and interests. Like Jess said, we both love horror films. We both love dressing up. Like there's like the list just goes on of the stuff that we have in common. And that made it really, really easy to get to know each other and to make a really strong bond.
Did you know from the start that you both love dogs?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been saying since I was a child, actually, that like, I'm going to have a dog. I wasn't allowed to have one growing up. And I knew that that's something that was very important to me. And I surprised Brady with Waldo as our 10-year wedding anniversary because he loved corgis. Yeah. So I had like secretly planned it all and brought him home.
Yeah, I had started developing this just infatuation with corgis beginning my first year of college. And
what is it you love about corgis, Brady?
They're the cutest, floofiest little stubby buddies, and they have the best smiles, and they have like the best ears. They're sassy, and they do just the cutest stuff. And the fact that they're stubby but they don't care.
Brady, who do you love more, Waldo or Jess? Be careful. Be very careful.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's gonna be Jess here, but it's just.
You can just say it's a different kind of love.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
It's funny you asked that, Nancy, because in our vows, and like I've always been so obsessed with Waldo to the point where we got married in Mexico, and my grandma surprised me the morning of my wedding and showed up. I thought she wasn't able to come, but they had me like closing my eyes for the surprise, and my instinct was that they surprised me with Waldo somehow. Like I was just like, Waldo's gonna be here, but it's so silly. And so there's this great photo of me, my mom, and my grandma just laughing because it was her and not Waldo. But in the vows, my very first line was, I promise to always love you at least a little bit more than Waldo. That was my very first line.
Okay, that is hilarious. That is, yeah, that's a self-written vow. That's not one from the book. It's original when. So that surprise that you just mentioned is just one of many surprises, I think, in your lives. And the big one that I really want to talk about today is Brady's proposal.
Oh, yeah.
So this is, I don't know any other way to say it, but from my understanding, it was an epic proposal.
It really was. And I'm sure Brady could speak to so much of the planning that went behind it. But from my perspective, like we were supposed to host a bunch of friends for Thanksgiving. We decided to, in November, we have some American friends, some Canadian friends to come together and do like a little Thanksgiving thing. And I was woken up by my best friend and this briefcase.
Oh,
Mysterious.
And she said to
okay.
me, this
It looks like
briefcase-
one of those briefcases from the TV show where they had money in the briefcases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So friend, briefcase, go.
So she brings me this briefcase. She wakes me up. Brady is gone, and so is Waldo. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. And the party wasn't supposed to start till like 4 p.m. and she lived out of town. So I'm like, and it's like 8:30 in the morning. And I'm like, Nessa, like, what are you doing here? Still a little groggy. And so she hands me this briefcase. And then she also says that here's a clue. And if there's something important inside this briefcase, but in order to get to it, you've got to figure out this first clue. And she had...
And it wasn't your birthday or anything. So it was just like a random day.
It was, yeah.
It was.
Okay.
It was in November, and it was after Thanksgiving. It was around Thanksgiving, and so we were.
And how long had you been together at the time?
13 years.
13.
Oh, righty.
We had like gone through high school together. We went to college together for a bit. We were long distance for 5 years. We finally moved into the same city. We were building our careers. We had talked about marriage, but it was something that we're like, we know we're going to do it, but like, that's an expense. Like, let's just figure out life first.
I feel like I did wait a little bit long to pull the trigger on that. I could have done it a lot earlier.
There were a few times earlier in our relationship where he had done something really sweet or surprised me in some way, and I thought he was going to pop the question, and it didn't happen. And so we would joke about the fact that, he was just waiting for the perfect plan, because this really, he put together all of these clues.
And one of those clues was in the briefcase?
Yeah.
Something else was in the briefcase.
Okay, I'm dying to know what was in the briefcase.
All the clues are written on like gold marker on the.
Oh my goodness! Black paper, gold marker.
Yeah.
Each of these clues took me to a different location, and it was like a location that I go to all the time, like with Waldo. Or so the first location was a dog park, and two of our best friends were there with Waldo and Waldo's best dog friend, and they were all muddy because it was like a rainy day. And they hand me my first clue, and that sent me to my next location, which was one of our friends owned a pet salon, and there was a bouquet of flowers there. And then the next location was the wine rack. And I mean, I like my wine, but the main reason why it was the wine rack is it was right below my work. And Waldo and I used to visit them every day because he'd get a cookie. Yeah. We'd say hello to them. So that was the next stop. And there was a big bottle of wine. And then we had the next clue took me to another forest. And at some point they had cleaned Waldo up.
Yeah, we did.
And like given him a bath from his first adventure. And he was there with our other set of friends. Because I remember like heading to the forest being like, this is weird. I don't think I've ever had a forest walk without Waldo. And sure enough, he's there. And then the next stop was a sushi dinner lunch that Brady prepaid for. And then the last stop was where I finally got my final clue, which gave me the code to get open into the briefcase, which was getting my nails done. And not only did Brady pay for my nails to get done, he paid for my then was going to be my maid of honor, but Nessa, who was with me all day, and another friend who was there. So all of us girls got mani-pedis on Brady's
What about
time.
Waldo? What about Waldo? He didn't get his nails done?
He did get a little groom in between the muddy adventure and the forest walk.
Okay. So inside the briefcase, once you got the combination, this is all just magnificent. inside the briefcase was the certificate for the mani-pedis?
No, I had
Oh,
no, the mani-pedi was just another stop on
okay. Sorry. So let's go back. Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
Okay, so when did you actually get to open the briefcase?
So once I got to the final stop and we were the final clue was there, that had the last number I needed in order to open the briefcase. And so I opened it and it was just this photo of a gazebo in Victoria Park, which is a park that we go to often.
She knows the one.
And we would go here all the time. Like this is on a place called Ruse Island in Victoria Park. We'd have picnics there with Waldo. We still do, and now we bring our cat Jack on a leash. And so this gazebo meant a lot to us, and I knew exactly where it was. And so I was like, okay, once we get our nails done, like this is our last stop. This is where we're going.
And were you pretty suspicious by then that, oh, this is going to be a proposal? Come on.
Yeah, when did you actually start cluing into that?
It took me a minute just because of, like I said in the past, like he's done so many amazing things to showcase his love for me. Like he's always been one to surprise me. One time he had like a friend dress up as a butler and drive us around to all of these date spots. And then it ended at a 5-star restaurant. So I was like, this is it. This is the day, so I didn't want to get ahead of myself. But pretty much by the time we got to the nail salon, I was like, oh, he's thought of everything. Because then when people ask to see the ring, your hand looks good.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
No, I remember that Brian dressed up like a chauffeur, and he like opened the door for you and everything, and he even had like the gloves and everything, and he was like, "Madam," he took us to dinner.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then I didn't propose.
before we get to the actual proposal, Jess has set it up from her angle. Now, Brady, I want to know what inspired all of this.
Well, I mean, I guess I should start by saying, because like, yeah, I did wait quite a long time to pull the trigger on this. I had been at work one day, and I was just kind of talking about Jess with some of my coworkers, and it got to the point where I talked about how, soon we're going to get married, and one of my coworkers was like, well, why don't you? What's stopping you? Sounds like you guys are perfect for each other. Why don't you do it? And I remember thinking, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. And I wanted it to be something that Jess would really enjoy, and I wanted it to be something that would kind of leave a great impression. So I came up with the idea of a scavenger hunt. So I created a group on Facebook with a bunch of friends in it and asked them if they wanted to help out and gave them an idea of what I wanted to do. And so many of these friends were like, yes, let's do it. Whatever you need, we'll be down, especially Lanessa.
Yeah, there was like 20 people involved in the whole day overall that Brady organized. Like, okay, at this time you're going to be at this location and then this location. And
yeah, we started kind of formulating what would be feasible and where we could go and what kind of stuff we could do. And then I figured, okay, well, let's make it this many stops, and it'll be all of these places that Jess will definitely know. And that was part of the reason why I chose them, because so that she got all the clues right away. It was really great because they were all places that she especially loved to go to. And we planned it out so that every time she went to one of these places, there would be a friend or two waiting for her there.
It's like you created a flash mob, but they were in individual places instead of all together. It's amazing.
Yeah, we Lanessa was especially, she put a huge amount of effort into it. She volunteered to not only drive from London to Kitchener and be here at 7 a.m. But Lanessa drove Jess around in her car. And that was so that Jess both had a mode of transportation, but also Lanessa knew, I made a full itinerary of where Jess was supposed to be at what time, so that Lanessa could make sure that Jess stays on track to be where she needs to be throughout the day, so that everything would kind of work out.
I am in awe. Like, this is so beautiful because it's just so thoughtful. It took so much effort on your part. And I can't imagine, you just demonstrated to her in the way you proposed how in it you were.
I honestly, I can't believe that it went off without a hitch, and I can't believe that it did. But I attribute that almost completely to the people that helped out.
That's
All
great.
the friends who came here and donated their time and put in a huge extra effort in order to make sure that it went off crazy. Not just for me, but because all of them really love Jess too.
I think we've kept the suspense going long enough, though. So let's talk about the actual proposal.
So so she ended up. We planned the whole day so that people would be there. It wasn't just all of our friends. So we planned it so that the last people that Jess would visit would go with her to the gazebo in Victoria Park. And we made it so that by the time she got there, everyone that she had met throughout the day would already be there. Everyone was all dressed up. Her parents were there, my parents were there, and all the dogs were there. Not just Waldo, but all of Waldo's friends were there. I had enough time throughout the day because everyone else was handling things. I had the time throughout the day to go visit the barber, and I got a nice straight razor shave, and I got all pampered up, and I got my suit on and everything. And I was just sitting there waiting for her.
When we first left the nail salon, it wasn't very far. It was maybe like a 10-minute drive. And as soon as we get to the park, it starts pouring rain. Thankfully, as you've probably gathered, we have really amazing friends. And one of them actually walked their own umbrella to our car that was in the parking lot
In the rain.
and then walked back in the rain so that when we arrived, I could remain dry because they knew there'd be photos and whatever. My stepdad had a camera with him, so he was taking photos throughout the whole event.
I remember in the chat because they were planning to tie like helium balloons and stuff around. There's like a little bridge that leads to the gazebo, so they were asking what Jess's favorite colors were. So they tied a bunch of balloons to the bridge leading up to it. Just a huge amount of effort.
I was pretty sure at like when I saw the gazebo, I was like, okay, like you're not getting your hopes up. Like I think this is actually happening. And so we arrive. It's pouring rain. I have the umbrella and I'm snuggled under with Nessa, and we're walking towards the bridge to the gazebo. And I see those balloons that Brady talked about on the gazebos strung up. There was maybe like 20 balloons all down the whole bridge, and I start crying, and Nessa goes, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "I think those balloons are for me." And then we get there, and all of a sudden, once we hit the bridge, we see the gazebo, we see all of my family and friends, and we see Brady there at the center front of everyone, smiling in his suit, and he looked good. That razor shave definitely did him good.
It was really nice. It was real. Oh man, I had like 8 different hot towels and stuff. It was a great time. It was really good. So she got there,
my gosh.
and our friend Marcus had a little Bluetooth speaker, and we played some music and had a little slow dance in front of everyone, and then I got down on one knee.
And
Pop the question.
And did you have to say anything, or did she just
She almost
yell,
didn't let me
yes
finish.
already?
I think she almost didn't let me finish. I think your response was hell yeah.
Yeah, I said hell yeah. After that day, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
But the bow on top of this was afterwards, because as we mentioned, that day we were preparing to have Thanksgiving dinner, or what we call Friendsgiving, with all of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And leading up to it, Jess was trying to get everything ready and prepared for Friendsgiving. And she was confused because leading up to it, I was like, no, it's okay. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of all of it. Or no, I already did all of it so that you wouldn't have to, because I knew what was happening.
Everything except for the meal.
Everything except for the meal.
Because otherwise the Friendsgiving would have been a wash, because nothing would have been done. Right.
Throughout the day, this place was our home base. And so we coordinated that everyone would meet here. So, for example, Jess met Marcus and Bob, our best friends, at the park at the first stop. And then when she left, Marcus and Bob came back here, brought Waldo back here, and started preparing the turkey.
Okay, you are a not so evil genius.
Like my parents set it up here, so people, when they weren't out participating in the scavenger hunt, they were back here getting food ready, getting side dishes
getting the
ready,
table set up,
getting the table set up and
vacuuming,
throw.
like doing everything I would
I
have had
told
to
you,
do.
all of my friends put in just a huge amount of effort into this. It was great. We have videos of like Bob holding up the turkey legs, being like, Jess, you're going to be married or you're going to be engaged when you get back.
Jess, can you even describe? Sorry to interrupt, Brady, but I am dying to ask this question. Like, this is just so touching. Can you describe, Jess, how loved you felt because of all that effort and all those people, the layers of love really that went into this?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been really blessed with amazing people in my life. And that day, so many people showed up for me, and it was it was such a beautiful day. Like, not only did I get to go on this awesome scavenger hunt, but I got to do it with my best friend. So that was this other layer. Like, each stop we met someone new, but at lunch it was just me and Nessa together, and like that was intentional on Brady's part, so we could gab about like, oh, what do you think, what are we gonna do next, and stuff like that. And even the song that Brady played was super emotional, because before we had talked about getting engaged, this song, he had said, there's a song I want to play at our wedding, but I don't want you to hear it until our wedding. Like, it's going to be a surprise. And so when I arrived, he was like, remember that song I told you about? We're going to hear it today. And so just so many emotions going through my head, and just feeling so grateful. And, I have the best husband now in the world, but I've had the best boyfriend, partner, best friend, business partner for 20 years. I've been really blessed. And while we were slow dancing is when he told me everything was going to be taken care of at home.
Yeah, I really whispered it in your ear. I was like, everything's
He's
fine.
like, I know you're probably stressed, but like the turkey's in the oven, like everything is good to go. All you have to do when you get home is shower and get dressed. And I was like, oh my God, you know me.
Yeah. So that was after the proposal was done. Everybody came back here and everything was ready to go. And we had a fantastic Thanksgiving dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm really sorry I missed that. I wish I had been there. I wish I could have played the part of the best friend going all the way through that day and experiencing that with you. But this is the next best thing, getting to hear you both tell the story. Amazing.
The level of coordination and the effort that everyone put in was great. Jess told you the first park that she went to was Marcus and Bob, and Waldo got muddy. And then the second place was Juliana's shop, where you got the flowers. Juliana got her flowers and said that they were from me. I didn't even plan that.
So lovely.
Yeah.
Well, she just didn't correct me. I was like, oh, Brady got me flowers.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah.
Right. But then we planned it so that that Waldo would be delivered to Juliana's shop for a groom just after Jess had left.
Wow.
And then someone else, another one of our a member of the group would Laura did, picked him up and then brought him to the other park where where Laura and Brendan and their dog and Waldo would be waiting for you once you got there. Everything was coordinated. I even planned out like how long it should take everyone to get from one place or another. And when I was preparing for it, I kind of went around to all the stops. That was really fun for me, was to go to all the different stops and explain to people what I was doing. I went to the wine rack and said, hey, this is going to be one of the stops on the scavenger hunt. And I talked to the manager about.
Oh, so they were in on it.
Yeah,
how
exciting
exciting for them.
About who was going to be working that day, and I paid for a bottle of wine and said, give this to her when she gets here.
Yeah, he prepaid for everything.
I went to the sushi place ahead of time, and I paid for 2 all-you-can-eat meals, and I booked them a table. And I remember going into the nail salon because I did research on nail salons. And I remember this specific nail salon had a really great rating, and they also had a liquor license. So I went in there and I talked to the manager there, and I told her what I was going to do. And I said, I want this to be one of the stops. I want her to get everything did.
And her friends.
And her friends. Yeah. And I want her hands to look fantastic for when I give her this ring. And I said, I gave her my credit card information, and I said, when Jess and her friends get here, just give them whatever they want. Charge it to my credit card. Give yourself a tip. give them whatever they want. And I remember there were some other women there who were sitting under those hair dryer things, just kind of like and they were like listening in, and I remember they were like, oh, oh.
Hand on the heart.
They thought it was great, and so they were just as enthusiastic as my friends were to help Jess have a really great day. So
you put all this effort in, Brady, to making her have a great day, but obviously it was a ton of fun for you too.
It was great. I left super early in the morning, went to a Tim Hortons, got a coffee, and then just started coordinating with the group chat on my phone. But it was great because there was a point where I was going to my barber appointment and I could just leave it to my friends and my friends would handle it. They've got the itinerary. They're super dependable. And there was a good like hour and a half of my day where I just got to sit back and get pampered and just, I'm going to get engaged soon.
Yeah, it was about you too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
then
that is, oh, sorry.
we got
So that is,
married on November.
no, I'm going to ask you about that. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
So we'll just do a little edit there. But so that is, I think, the most amazing proposal story I've ever heard. And I've heard a few, here on the Love Map podcast, we do love stories of all kinds. It's not just about romance. As you know, we've had Waldo on. But this is really pretty impressive. And I can't help but wonder, did the surprises continue through the marriage, or did you just go, okay, we're just doing the straight old marriage? How did the wedding work out?
The wedding was fantastic. We got married on November 18th, which was exactly 1 year to the day after the proposal.
Well, technically, we got legally married.
Oh, yes, that's
Halloween
right.
morning, because our original, we started dating on Halloween. So on Halloween morning, because we had the wedding in Mexico, it's just a lot easier to get legally married in Canada. So Halloween morning, wearing wigs. Our friends wore wigs. Waldo was there. He wore a wig.
Just silly wigs.
And then we went to work. It was like 8:00 in the morning. We call it our wigiversary.
Yeah, we went to City Hall and had a little ceremony with our friends and our dogs, and we all wore silly wigs and got married. And then we went to work.
And then we had our ceremony a month later. Yeah.
I do like to keep up to answer your question. I do like to try to keep up with the surprises. One thing about Jess though is she is notoriously difficult to surprise. She usually clues in on things. Which
you're the guy for the job, Brady.
Yeah. Well, it's challenge accepted. When it comes to that kind of thing, but we like to do special stuff together all the time. And now, honestly, you've been surprising me a lot more with vacations and
yeah, I feel like stuff. I kind of made up for all of those surprises, the last few years. I'm like, well, it'd be cool if we went on an adventure, and we really do like to do things that are memory based now versus just like things. Like we'd prefer like, okay, I got us an Airbnb at this place we've never been. We're going to bring Waldo and Jack and we're going to have a great time. Or, like last year I surprised Brady with tickets to see Neil deGrasse Tyson. We went to Italy. Like we're, we still keep the love alive. It's just a little different.
I guess you do. Okay, well, I'm sure you're inspiring a lot of people who are listening going, I got to up my game.
Sorry to set the bar so high for you other guys out there. I didn't mean to.
No
I
kidding.
Also found this photo of us in high school.
I got my football jersey on.
Oh, we are putting that on social media.
Little baby Jess and Brady.
Great. Oh my goodness. I can't help but ask, you're a wonderful example of a couple who are so clearly connected, and you love doing things together. You love surprising each other. What is it you actually love most about each other? And you can flip a coin to decide who goes first.
I think you should go first. I went first last time.
Honestly, one of the main things, life has its ups and downs. No matter what, no matter who you are, no matter what good intentions you have in the world, shit is going to come to you. And having Brady not only be my rock through all of it. He's always there. I know I can count on him to support me in any way. But the laughter is something that's ever present in our house, like singing, laughing, and dancing. Like every day, we sometimes joke that if someone were to just like take a little peek into our house and we're like dancing with the cat and singing.
It's like, can you imagine if someone had a crystal ball and they're just looking at us and they're like, what the heck are they doing?
Yeah.
Having
It's
a great
musical
time.
theater marriage.
Yeah. So he matches my silly, but is also like my rock. And so we have a lot of fun, but I know that no matter what happens, I mean, when I broke my leg, Waldo got a lot of the accolades, but really Brady was the one taking care of me, taking care of the pets, taking care of our business, and doing it without a single complaint. And I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I can't help. He's like, no, like, I got it. You rest. Like, what do you need? Do you need some more water? He started bringing me double waters though, because I think I was sending him on multiple.
Refill that water every couple of hours. Yeah. No, I got you a bunch of snacks and pillows and brought the TV up and just made sure that you were super duper comfortable, because that's important to me.
What do you love most about Jess, Brady?
Honestly, it's going to be a kind of a similar answer. I think the thing that draws me the most to Jess is being able to, I mean, like I said, we have so many different things in common, and I find it super easy and very fulfilling to be able to make her laugh and feel better. I'm constantly doing stuff to make her laugh. And I don't know if you ever heard Jess laugh, but it's pretty great. She's always being really supportive of me, through thick and thin, through the good times and bad times. She's my rock as well, and I lean on her for any type of support that a man might need. We just have fun together. We like to do the same things all the time. We have all the same values. We're just oddly congruent. I'm not sure if that's the right word. I just love doing stuff with her. Anytime I get to do something, if I can do it with Jess instead, and it makes it better. Jess started off being my best friend before she started being my girlfriend, before she started being my wife. And I think that that's a big part of how we were able to keep this consistent and for so long. Is they say marry your best friend, and I think that this is a really great example of why. There's barely anything that I can think of doing that wouldn't be better without Jess there.
Do you know what I think? There are so many people out there who are on dating apps who are looking for a great relationship. And I can't help but wonder how many times people say to you, you guys are what I want. I want some of that.
It's funny you say that, Nancy. Even my friend Nessa, like, she's had a journey where she was looking for a relationship, and she's like, I just want to find my Nessa Brady.
The Nessa Brady.
Like, she knows how close we are, and that's just like, and she's finally found him, and he's amazing. He's so good for her. He makes her so happy. And she's like, the day that they started dating, she's like, I found him. I think I found my Nessa Brady. And I was like, oh, I love that for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I think I might have to talk to you every season of the Canadian Love Map, because you guys will never fail to light up our studio and the airwaves. And I just appreciate so much the beauty and love that you shared with us today. Really, really special.
Thanks for having us on this podcast, Nancy. We love what you're doing and spreading that joy. And as you know, like, that we align with that, like, just spreading love. Like, there's not enough of that. So what you're doing is just really, really special and beautiful. And, maybe one day you could do a piece on Brady and Jack, because they, I tell you, they are like attached at the hip. I always joke that I get less pets now that Jack is in the family, because he, like, even if Brady's like giving me like a back massage or something, Jack would be like, oh no, me, and he'll put himself in between us, and it's just so, their love is so beautiful.
We're not supposed to have favorites, but,
Brady's his favorite,
but we do.
Well, that's great. Say hi to Jack and Waldo for us, and good luck with Waldo's book. I can't wait to get my own copy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it'll be available on Amazon September 7th. Waldo the Wonder Dog.
Thumbs up. Bye, guys.
Bye.